Windstorm is another horse game. I have a strange fondness for this one.
You can just end the recording.
I've got a strange fondness for this one because I suffered through its Switch port back in like 2019 for some reason. I don't remember how I came across the game, but I played all of it. I talked about it on the podcast.
I remember.
I was pilloried by you both then, but I had a nice time. For this month, I had intended to boot it up for an hour or two, knowing that it was developed in Germany on the Steam Deck. I was going to refresh my memory on how it all worked with its kind of soft mix of open world exploration and horse care simulation elements, and then I was just going to move on. But, as I'm sure any listeners will know, because I'm broken in the head, I played the game to 100% completion. I've really had a nice time.
Brilliant.
Windstorm is based on a series of German language films. Windstorm, the films, or Ostwind is the German title. It's the first in a duology of tie-in games developed again by Aesir Interactive, who made one of the other horsey franchises. And it has you riding around a big grand estate atop Windstorm as main character Mika, who has managed to tame this beast that no one else has managed to ride or something. I don't know. I wasn't really checking the story. You are given a range of missions, including point-to-point races, collectathons, chasing bolted horses, delivering items to people. It's all very simple stuff. But coming reasonably fresh off the back of Deadly Premonition, having a similarly kind of low-pressure open world, doing the mop-up stuff, because I had no more zombie bits to do, I actually really enjoyed having another slice of kind of just country life. It's all very bucolic. There's no threat, there's no worry. Either you beat a mission or you don't, and you just do it again. Windstorm can't be harmed, you can't fall off your horse. The worst thing that's going to happen is Windstorm's coat gets dirty, or your hooves need a clean up. And at that point, it's off to the stables for the simulation part of the game, thank you, Germany. And you complete some simple and quite repetitive actions to brush down your horsey or hoik stones and soil out of its shoes. And it's all just nice. It's nothing special. It's a long way from being what you'd call good, but it's also a very long way from being what you call bad. And in the same way that I was strangely enthralled back when I first played it on the Switch, despite its fucking awful performance. Like on the Switch, it might be the worst running game I'd ever played, and I still got through all of it. Here, very, very smooth and nice. It was very easy to feel compelled to play through the whole thing, not have any sort of obligation, just because I was having a good time. It doesn't look that bad despite its age. That's quite a few years old now. And bizarrely, I found out after I booted this up, it got an Unreal Engine 5 remaster just this year, if you want to rebuy it, and if you've got the specs or hardware to run it. So I wasn't playing that
beautiful.
Game. Yeah, I wasn't playing that version.
Absolutely beautiful.
But even in the version I had, the older version, there's something really chill about the sun blasting crepuscular rays through the forest canopies with bird song and the clip and clop of your canter, the only sound. And I know you've said before that the opening for Red Dead Redemption 2 was slow, or so slow as to put you off playing. But the more I've thought about it and played stuff like this, the more I think maybe I'd actually be really into that sort of slow, plodding deliberateness.
Probably.
Just wandering about in the snow on a horse and just having a slow time.
I think I would be if I was in the right mood for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I boot up Red Dead Redemption 2, thinking, I really want to give that game a go, that bit of the game is not the thing that I'm really in the mood to play.
Yeah. Yeah. I just like walking about. Just like games you walk about. It's all I did in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom as well.
Yeah.
The best bit of Windstorm for me was actually the part most people would probably enjoy least, in that it has 120 collectibles that are dotted around the entire map. They're not kind of marked on your in-game map, so you need to go and track these things down. And I just decided one evening I was going to sit down with a little map on my phone. I trotted carefully around each path on the map. I ticked them off one by one using my nice little stylus on my Galaxy phone. And it was just a lovely, calm time with satisfyingly tangible progress as I was dotting off each marker. I had a great evening. Like, this sort of game is never going to win any awards for anything, but I think is actually a really interesting representation of German development, because it's a German film. It's a German tie-in. It's an equine theme that is, clearly popular in the region, as I've said. It's got these elements that reference as well one of the biggest industry exports through its casual take on the sim genre. So it's a very German product. Crisis is a gun game, and it may well have drawn from or influenced other gun games, but gun games in some form or another have been around and are pretty much universal across the globe since games year dot. But horses, there ain't no horse party like a German horse party, I can tell you that.
Famously.
Yeah. I mean, the audience for this one is going to be niche. And the vast majority of players, especially big boys and or girls, like both you and I, it's not for us necessarily. But if you fancy a nice time just walking about a field and collecting things and brushing your horse's hair every now and again, give it a play. Windstorm's not bad.